Hello everyone, this is That Concerned Guy. Recently I have made a clip on the landslide win of the Australian Labor Party winning the Victorian State Elections here in Australia. A couple of commentators by the screen names Fast Farmer and Harrison Barr commented on how to improve my speech when making these clips. So, I will strive to do better from now on. Thank you. I would like to make a further elaboration on how the new leftist agenda will continue to dismantle the social cohesion of Victorians. What do I mean by this? Well, basically, enabling the radical feminist influence on the mainstream state political system, education system, and the workforce culture. For those who continue to deny the problem feminism is causing, today's feminism is all about feelings over reasoning. This is why feminists are never happy with anything men provide for them. Female hypergamy at play here. The patriarchy was the very reason why women got the vote in the first place. So, please do not harangue about how the men and the patriarchy need to be condemned for the ills of the past. For those who don't know, the Victorian schools have the Safe School program, where the front agenda indicates that bullying against transgender kids is to be prohibited in order to make safe school environments for such students. However, a number of parents want this to be removed from the schools, as they do not want their kids to be indoctrinated by the new left's push for transgender messages in the schooling system. Now, why am I mentioning this? It is because the founding building blocks of society relies on the natural roles of males and females, as men are usually the ones who do the more heavy, dirty work outdoors, such as construction, road work, navigating, seafaring, etc., etc. And women are usually the ones who nurture the children and take care of the household that binds the family unit. And yes, I know that there will be the so-called progressives listening to this, thinking that all this sounds so biblical. And progressives who are listening to this would also say that this is so tradcon and misogynist. But it is what it is. You cannot use today's social engineering to change the nature of males and females. And in regards to the Australian Labor Party itself, this political party tends to allow a larger number of immigrants into the country who do not exactly have the needed skills, education, or other prerequisites that are needed for in this country. It is self-explanatory that Australia needs immigrants who will be peaceful, productive members of society. Australia does not need undesirables who will not only sponge off the welfare system, but also cause anti-social behaviour and form ethnic enclaves or ghettos. Hopefully this will not eventuate like what has happened to the USA and certain Western European countries. But of course, hardcore new leftists who are supporters of the Australian Labor Party will just refuse to realise that these sorts of things are happening, and the fact that social engineering does not alter the nature of males or females. Utopian ideals are futile, and people need to wake up to this and move on to other things that can actually benefit Victorian society, instead of following the neo-Marxist basura we hear from today's mainstream narrative. And the cheap comments that all this is conspiracy theories only indicates that the commentator is most likely a new leftist neo-Marxist. And this is just too exhausting to even argue back by the use of facts, which seems to hurt these new leftist progressives' feelings when it does not suit their narrative. In regards to Melbourne, there are now signs that ethnic enclaves may be developing due to certain numbers of people from certain ethnic groups are not being mobile on the social ladder, meaning that they are not starting to move out of the working class ethnically mixed areas and enter into the more middle class neighborhoods. In the past, ethnic groups by the second and third generations worked their way up the social ladder by obtaining education and better job prospects, and then moving out of their traditional ethnic working class areas. If Australia wants to remain one of the greatest countries, it needs to start making actions toward ending the politically correct ideology and start getting real on what is really happening to Australian society. And the state needs to know that the state of Victoria really needs to know that what really does the ALP want? Does it want the strengthening of Victoria or for destroying it?